the fact that you were the lone woman. And whenever there was a controversy with Charlamagne or DJ Envy, there were people who held you accountable in their minds for their actions. There was the interview with Lil Mama, a rapper, Azalea Banks, an entertainer, and Monique that come to mind, where people felt that Charlamagne was being misogynistic in his tone and that you should have somehow wrangled him in. I firmly disagree with that because you're not there to police them. But people held you accountable for things that the guys, as they wrote in one article, did. Right. How did that make you feel?
And I wasn't even there when they interviewed Azalea Banks. So I'm like, what am I supposed to do? But I also feel like, you know, sometimes I would feel like I got it harder than he did for something that he said. And so I also want to make it clear that we're all three individuals. You say what you say, feel how you feel, and I do too. But it's hard because people affiliate you with the whole group. Yeah. And that was part of why I really wanted to have my own show, because now what happens, I'm accountable for that. Yeah. But when you have three people with three differing opinions or three different viewpoints and completely different personalities, we're all individuals, but sometimes it's hard for people to separate that.
I want to go back to the woman part of it, because you did hit on something. Because you were the lone woman on this show with a lot of bravado, with a lot of edge, disruptive, and that's why millions of people love the show. It seemed to me that people were always riding you.
Yeah, and you know, I was the only woman who worked there too. I mean, when it came to producers, camera people, and it wasn't an easy room for me to be in. I didn't know that. So I feel like I did need more like backup, you know, because even things that I felt as a woman, it is, you know, if somebody can't understand your point of view because they're not coming from where you come from. And so that was hard for me too, to be the only woman there with nobody to be like, check somebody, you know, you shouldn't have said that like that. It's just me. And there were times I did do that behind the scenes because, you know, we should be able to do that. That's part of what it is. I'm not always gonna agree. But it's hard when nobody's like, you know what, she's right. Or let's all have a conversation about this. It's just kind of like you say what you say and then...
Did you find yourself fighting for respect from the co-hosts, who I know respect you? But when you're the only woman in the room, and, which blew me away just now, you're saying even in the production part of it.
Yeah.
You're there.
It was a lot. It was a lot.
So now Lil Mama responded and said, oh, please. She was up there playing foul games too. She has helped make multiple women of color especially feel like the only woman in the room numerous times. Hashtag rock throwing hands, hiding bitch. Hey, she a fool, bro. Everybody coming up by that interview, man. I feel like Angela Yee, she should never said nothing. She should have just kept that to herself or something, because she was on the interview talking to the lady about how she felt alienated. She felt by herself. She ain't had no support. Then the interviewer brought up Lil Mama and Azalea Banks, for example. Then Angela Yee said, yeah, people always want to hold me accountable for something Charlamagne said or DJ Envy said when I ain't had nothing to do with it. And Lil Mama said, you lying. It been plenty of times where you been up there attacking black women especially. So don't try to act like you ain't do nothing. Don't try to hide your hands after you throw a rock. Now, I'm not exactly sure what Lil Mama talking about, because I remember that particular interview with Lil Mama back in the day. And I think Charlamagne asked her something about her mama that passed away. Either Charlamagne or Angela Yee, one of them. And then she started crying, then people started blaming Charlamagne. But the thing that Angela Yee saying, even if Charlamagne or DJ Envy say something, they group her in it as well. Now, I don't really see that. I guess she's talking about online, the backlash, but I don't know exactly what she's talking about. But I feel like as long as they've been together, they've been working together since 2010. They just stopped working together last year. Y'all got like 13 years of history. Why want to come out on an interview speaking down on them? Like, if something happened, leave it in the past or write it in the book. You ain't got to go on an interview. Like, come on, now. Now, Lil Mama and DJ Envy say you lying, so who knows, man? What y'all think about this, your boy B? Be sure like I'm trying.